tariffs on foreign imports. It looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Doc.
Ken Billions, what's good?
And we got a special guest, Killers and Losers. Killers and Losers, you want to introduce yourself?
What's up? Killers and Losers. I run a TikTok account.
What's happening with you?
And if y'all want to find Killers and Losers, that's basically exactly how you spell it on his TikTok. But that was the ad that Canada made, and basically it ticked Trump off. Trump said that it's AI. Doc, what do you think about it? Do you think it's AI? Do you think Trump should have been ticked off about it because he did implement the tariffs?
No, it's probably AI, but no, I don't think he should have been ticked off about it. I mean, Trump get on the internet and do a lot of trolling, so you know what I'm saying. I think he got to be a good sport. He troll all the other countries all the time, so I think he got to be a better sport.
For sure. Killers and Losers, what do you think?
I thought it wasn't AI. I thought the Reagan Foundation just said that it was misrepresenting him allegedly, but I thought it was completely real. It's my understanding.
So, Ken, you think Trump deserves to be upset?
No, not at all. I think it's completely insane that the president is retaliating to an advertisement aired by. I mean, the whole situation is so completely insane that the fact that we're even having a discussion on whether it should be normalized that he's doing this is insane in itself. Like if any other president was like, yeah, I saw this advertisement that another country made, and then I'm using this to influence my foreign policy with them. I mean, if Obama was doing this, Fox News would be going completely insane. This makes no sense that this is happening.
Well, before Ken responds, I'm going to play what Trump said about it.
Reagan loved tariffs. He used them sparingly, which he probably would make a mistake. He made a mistake in that. And again, I was the biggest fan of Ronald Reagan, but on finance, on trade, it wasn't his strong suit. But he liked tariffs, and they totally changed that to say that he didn't, because they're catering to the Supreme Court. Because Canada's been ripping us off for a long time, and they're not going to rip us off anymore. Canada has been ripping us off for a long time. One of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada. As much as I love Canada itself and the people of Canada, they've just had a lot of bad representatives. They did a fake ad yesterday. They were caught. The Ronald Reagan Foundation was the one that caught them, and it was totally the opposite of what they said. So I don't like that. That's dirty pool, and you can't do that. And let me just tell you, they shouldn't have done it. And they've apologized, and they said, we're going to take the ad down. Well, they did it, but they did it very late. They let it play for another 2 nights, and now they took that ad down. So I don't know when it's going to kick in. We'll see, but I don't really want to discuss it. Let's go.
Ken, what do you think of Trump's response to the ad?
I don't know about his response, but I live in Arizona, and Arizona has a lot of snowbirds from Canada every winter because the weather's cool down here, right? So stuff like this affects a place like this. A lot of people from Alberta, Calgary, Winnipeg, they own homes out here, right? So I'm curious to see how these relations go this winter because they stimulate the economy heavy out here in Phoenix every year. So I'm curious to see what our relationships look like with them because here we get a boost. We get a boost from the snowbirds. So that that'll be interesting.
Well, before we all respond, I want to play like the original ad that Ronald Reagan actually did that they were using for that advertisement.
Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. Now, there are sound historical reasons for this. For those of us who lived through the Great Depression, the memory of the suffering it caused is deep and searing. And today, many economic analysts and historians argue that high tariff legislation passed back in that period, called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery. You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group, who forget that more than 5 million American jobs are directly tied to the foreign export business, and additional millions are tied to imports. Well, I've never forgotten those jobs, and on trade issues, by and large, we've done well.
I just wanted to play that so everyone knows that it's real. So let's go around. Let's talk about how we actually feel about AI, because AI videos are actually starting to look real. So Trump could have like tricked a lot of people.
But also, one I'm not surprised that Reagan is against tariffs. He circumvented the whole import-export business to supply the Contras and cocaine into the black neighborhoods. So of course he wants you to bring whatever in and out for free. You know what I mean? Well, like he was playing by the rules anyway.
For sure. Killers and losers, what you think? Because you were the one that said that it was real. Do you think AI videos are a problem? Like, because some of them are starting to look real.
I think it is I think it's getting to the point where it's not possible to really tell if a video is real or not unless it's like verified by a news source. And I think it's only going to keep getting better from here because like I was looking at TikTok the other day and there was this video that was like this like judge like screaming at this guy, and everyone thought it was real in the comments, and it was completely fake, and it was like had like hundreds of thousands of likes, and everyone thought it was real. And so I think it is kind of concerning when the president is accusing things of being is like casting even more kind of mistrust in anything. Like eventually, like I think even if like incriminating videos like of Trump like appeared or something, he could just be like, nah, it's AI, and then all his supporters would believe it, and it just wouldn't even mean anything anymore.
What about you, Ken? How you feel about AI?